Guys, this is Chetan for Gizmo Times and you're watching the comparison of the Samsung Galaxy M31 with the Xiaomi Redmi Note 8 Pro. So this is going to be just the spec based comparison. I haven't used the M31 a lot, so I won't be able to tell you about the final performance, though it should be similar to the Galaxy M30s that was launched earlier. They have the similar chipset and they are almost the same with the design as well. There are only a few changes, but does this make the phone better than the Redmi Note 8 Pro, which is already doing well in the market? Let's check it out in this comparison. Starting with the design, they both have their own unique set of designs, and there's a gradient back on the Redmi Note 8 Pro. While it's a standard black edition on this one, there are other colors as well which you can choose from, but in the end it's the plastic versus glass. That's the major comparison here. It's called Glastick on the Samsung Galaxy M31, which means it looks like glass but it still is plastic. On the other side, the Redmi Note 8 Pro comes with the Gorilla Glass 5 protected glass. But as I have been always saying earlier in our videos as well, it's better to have a plastic back rather than the glass, because in case the glass breaks, even though it's a Gorilla Glass 5 protection, there are always chances of the glass to be broken, and that's when it adds to the cost for the replacement of the glass. And once you pay for the phone itself, why do you always have to pay extra for the glass? If it's for the screen, it's understandable. For every phone that cost is anyway added in case the screen breaks. But for the glass back, you don't have to pay that extra amount. So I would usually prefer plastic over the glass in this case. And on the front, it's 6.44 inch display on the Samsung Galaxy M31, while it's a 6.53 inch on the Redmi Note 8 Pro, but it's Super AMOLED. You can clearly see from here that the colors easily pop out better on the Super AMOLED based Samsung Galaxy M31. So Super AMOLEDs are always a display of choice. Even when Xiaomi itself, they had launched the Xiaomi Mi A3, it had come with the Super AMOLED display, but it was the HD Plus, and that's where people again felt that it should have been full HD Plus. Here it's Full HD Plus but not Super AMOLED. So it's IPS LCD. Obviously the display is always well optimized with the Redmi phones, but not having Super AMOLED display is going to be a disadvantage when compared to the Galaxy M31. And the display is a bit smaller on this one, which makes the phone a bit easier to hold and much more comfortable. And next, moving on with the processor, it's the Exynos 9611 compared to the MediaTek Helio G90T. So there are differences between the two chipsets when we talk about the manufacturing process, when we talk about the clock speeds, as well as with the GPU that is offered here. So it's the Mali G72 MP3 GPU on the Exynos 9611, while it's the Mali G76 MC4 GPU on the Redmi Note 8 Pro based the Helio G90T. But with the graphic performance or whatever the graphic options are, if you are someone who's into gaming, you know the PUBG Mobile gaming settings, they are going to be the same on both the devices. So there's no difference, even though there's quite a lot of difference in the GPU that is offered here. So no difference in those options that are offered in the device or in the PUBG Mobile game. And with the manufacturing process, the Exynos 9611 comes with a 10 nanometer when compared to the 12 nanometer manufacturing process. Battery efficiency largely depends on these manufacturing processes, so it's going to be a better battery efficiency on the Galaxy M31 with the Exynos 9611. With the camera combination, it's actually almost the same combination, because the first two cameras are the major ones are the same. It's the Samsung GW1 sensor, the 64 megapixel sensor with the quad layer technology, offering the 16 megapixel outputs and still having a dedicated mode for 64 megapixel captures. It's the same on both of them. But the secondary one, the 8 megapixel one, has a different kind of width for the lenses. So it's 12 millimeter on the Galaxy M31, while it's a 13 millimeter on the Redmi Note 8 Pro. But then the next two cameras, where you see one of them being the depth camera, the other one being the macro one, the resolution is better on the Galaxy M31. It's a 5MP depth camera and 5MP macro one on the Galaxy M31, while it's a 2 megapixel depth and a 2 megapixel macro camera on the Redmi Note 8 Pro. On the front, it's always about your personal choice with the selfie cameras, because sometimes some of us would like a bit more natural selfies, some of us like those beautified selfies. But with the resolution, it's a 16 megapixel selfie camera on the Galaxy M31 with the f2.0 aperture, while it's a 20 megapixel selfie camera with the f2.0 aperture on the Redmi Note 8 Pro. As I said, the MIUI's optimization and the Samsung's optimization for the selfies differ quite a bit, so it's going to be your personal preference. Though the Samsung Galaxy M31's camera app has a mode for a wide angle selfies. Though it's a single camera, still there's an option to make it wider for a group selfie option, and this live focus or portrait on both of them. In the camera, you can anyway capture 4K videos, and most of the options again are similar in the camera application. You can take slow motion videos, you can take the time-lapse videos as well. So a live focus is another option in the Galaxy M31, which works with any distance. While on the other side, the portrait mode on the Redmi Note 8 Pro works with only the distance of 2 meters to 5 meters. So that's a fixed distance. If you go further than that or come much closer, the portrait mode won't work in that device. Next, moving on to the battery life or the battery capacity here. Since I haven't used the M31 a lot, I can't say about the battery life, but the battery capacity easily is much better with a 6000 mAh battery when compared to the 4500 mAh battery on the Redmi Note 8 Pro. And with the fast charging as well, it's a 15 watt fast charging on the Galaxy M31 while it's an 18 watt fast charging on the Redmi Note 8 Pro. But with the 6000 mAh battery, you obviously can expect it to last easily for a couple of days, and that's where it's going to be an advantage over the Redmi Note 8 Pro. So that's it. This was the quick comparison of the Samsung Galaxy M31 and the Xiaomi Redmi Note 8 Pro. You can check out the prices in the description below since the video was made before the launch. I'm not sure about the price of the M31, though I expect it to be around 15,000 rupees, the same price at which the Redmi Note 8 Pro is available. And there are some advantages for the M31 over the Redmi Note 8 Pro and some advantages for the Redmi Note 8 Pro over the M31. But again, those things like the glass back are your personal preference. If you like a glass back and still are okay with that to be broken sometime and want it to be replaced with the paying extra amount, that's your choice. In the end, this was a comparison of the M31 and the Redmi Note 8 Pro. I hope you like this video. If you do, share and subscribe to get some times for more. Thanks for watching and see you next video.